And what time is it over there?
Like 8:30.
In the evening?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, how about you?
It's about like 11:30 morning. Actually, I think we're probably like a day ahead of you guys.
Right, yeah. So how's Saturday going? Is it a good day?
Yeah, good question, Maya. I just finished playing ping pong with my crews in Seoul.
All right, fun. A little morning exercise.
Yes, my lakeline soccer friend. Yeah, I could give you some updates. So I left to quality test last year, like August, and then I came back to Korea, helped my dad's business a little bit, and then I ended up settling down here in Seoul.
Nice.
And then my passion was all the time like do programming and computer science skills.
Right, yeah.
So
Yeah, and quality test isn't really the best thing for that. I mean, you can do sampling so much, but like, how much do you really get out of doing that?
yeah, so but I really did have fun, right? Working with a lot of international workers and soccer club, ping pong, all the time goofing
Yeah.
off, taking a nap in a gym, and but meal was not provided all the time. Having a hopeful, dream to become real Googler.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a good workplace. Definitely, maybe not forever, but it's a good, adventure to have for a year or however long you were there. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I'm still here, so we've definitely gone through a lot of changes lately. Like for example, like Chris was just made a Googler. They announced him first he was going to be site lead, and then 2 weeks after he's like, "Sorry guys, I have to leave. I'm going to be a Googler."
Really?
Yeah.
How dramatic is that? You mean when you're talking about Chris, like Chris Tompkins, who used to be the leader of Insertion Team, my boss?
Yes.
He was the first out of the many talented individual. He was the first one who got picked.
Got picked for Googler.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a couple. I think there are a couple who have like left Polytest and then they've come back as Googlers. Like Niha, do you remember the AQO TL?
Yes. Is he a male or female?
A female.
Niha. I think I've heard of her name.
Yeah, yeah. She started like right before the whole pandemic started. So you probably like barely saw her on the office. But yeah, she quit in the spring, I think, and then 3 months later she came back, and now she's Parth's stakeholder.
Wow, how
So it's
amazing!
funny because she started under Parth, and now she's her stakeholder.
Wow, you never know what's going to happen in your life down the road,
Definitely, yeah.
I remember like Sue, Korean Sue, and Akabek, Virginia. Are you familiar with all these names?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are Googler. They claim them. They used to, I think, start as a quality test, and they kind of roll over to Googler like over the time. I heard, but their positions are all called solution consultant or something.
Yeah, I know a couple people on the provider onboarding side too that started out as Googlers or started out as quality testers and ended up as solutions consultants for sure.
Makes sense. So I think we both had the same starting date, isn't it? Like back in 2019, was it like?
August 19th?
Yeah, exactly. I think you're the, there's like a natural selection theory is not stronger survive the most, but whoever like stays the longest are the strongest, So
well, I'm sure experienced a lot in these 2 years here. It's been a roller coaster for sure.
So yeah, it has been almost 2 years, right? Time flies.
Over 2 years. Yeah, it was 2 years in August. So it's like 2 years, 3 months now.
Still, there are a lot of dramas or politics or promotion going on. Like teams sometimes get what is it called? Like assembled and disassembled, and there are a lot of policy changes as well.
Yeah, Yeah. We lost our site lead, and Aaron is also leaving. He's going to be somewhere else in Qualitest outside of SLS. So they had to like do a complete org shift not too long ago, they had to promote 3 TLs. So I was part of the interviewing process, but they didn't pick me. So yeah, there were like 11 people who were interviewing. So
So
a lot of candidates.
yeah, so does it imply that like they ask you to apply, or you, since you like were, let's say you have been a really good performer for the last 2 years and you've made a really good progress, so they just automatically, hey, like just come join our meeting, and you suddenly know, oh wow, actually this was an interview for TL or something, or
No. I mean, I've talked to my TL and my manager Rich. He's been really supportive. He really likes my style and whatever. I mean, it is so important to have a manager who believes in you. Like Anu, she wasn't really my biggest fan. She didn't really believe that I had any leadership abilities. But Rich is like completely opposite. He like thinks I've done a good job and has always been very supportive. So he actually did like personally ask me if I wanted to apply or not. And I mean, I said sure. I mean, at least it's interview practice, so there's no downside to it. Might as well just put my name in the hat and hope for the best. But yeah, they ended up picking someone else. So, but it's fine. It was still a good experience. It was fun. Chris was the hardest interviewer, actually. I didn't expect that because he seemed so friendly, but his interview was tough.
did he interview you? That's really interesting.
Yeah, they had. I interviewed with 3 managers. So I interviewed with Hao and Aaron as well.
Oh wow! How were the interview? Like, did they still ask you a lot of stupid, bunch of silly questions like what happened to Google if you type go www.google.com, or like if you're an animal, what would it be? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you fill up the airplane by ping pong balls or something?
No, it wasn't those types of questions. It was definitely more directed towards being a team leader, manager, that kind of stuff. Chris's questions were all like, so if that doesn't work, what would you do next? So each time I answered, he like said, okay, and then what? And then what? And then what? So he like kept having to like think and build on that. So it was a tricky interview for sure. Definitely put the pressure on it, but good experience to have for sure.
Did you personally ping Chris? Like, why didn't you hire me? Like the Donald Trump's like apprentice show or something?
No.
What was the thing you didn't like me about it? Then I'll fix it and I'll apply next time, you know?
I tried at the end of the interview, I said that, okay, do you have any feedback for me? And he was like, I can't give you feedback right now. That's not part of the interview process, but we're documenting all the feedback, so you'll get like a full report afterwards. With all the feedback on things to build on. I haven't gotten it yet, but hopefully they'll be giving that to us soon.
At least that sounds pretty transparent and pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Rich has really pushed for like more transparent interview promotion processes because in the past it's been very like we didn't know if there was a promotion coming up, and if there was a promotion, there was maybe already somebody like in mind, and they would always like, okay, so there's a promotion in search, so we're definitely promoting from search and upwards. Like nobody from another team can have a chance. That kind of stuff. That's the way it used to be. It was a lot more political, I guess, and Rich has pushed for it to be more equal and fair. So yeah.
When you say when you say Rich, is it like the guy with I think I've met him. He sounds very intelligent.
I think he's really intelligent. I forget. When did you quit?
Like last year, August, 2020 August. I think it was maybe the second or third week. Do you guys still have the shout out culture?
The what?
Shout out culture at the Friday afternoon.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So Rich started I think in June last year. So you might have like barely met him, but he's been a very good manager. He's about to leave our team. He's going to be a senior manager on AQO instead. But he's been really good.
So yeah, Maya, what would you say? What are some like the name of positions like in? I know we start as a what is it, junior quality engineer, and then team lead, and then site lead. It used to be like that, but are there any different layers of positions?
Right. So I mean, an A1 is like a graduate quality engineer. The medium one is a quality engineer. What used to be a senior quality engineer is now a specialist. And then there is the lead quality engineer, that's the TL, and then the manager quality engineer, this is the manager, senior quality engineer.
Oh, I see, I see. So do you still do the same task over and over again for the last year, or there was some transitions and different like you got to learn any transferable skill set with if you were to move to the next company?
Well, pride onboarding has never been boring. We've always had different tasks to do. Definitely, sampling and just doing loss analysis over and over again. We have a lot of different tasks. Our project is probably a lot more complicated than other teams. So I've been fortunate that I haven't been bored. I've been learning the entire time. But the question is, have I learned anything that someone outside of Qualitest would appreciate? I'm not so sure. I do a little bit of SQL here and there, but there's not really that much programming, I guess.
So not many probably hands-on Python coding or C++ or Java or something like that.
Yeah, not really. I mean, you can definitely, if you want to do a project, if you have an idea for an automation project, you can definitely ask for permission to work on that. And I mean, we're always looking for ways to automate the process, so that would definitely be welcomed. But it's not part of our standard process. That would be something extra.
Yeah, I remember you were from math major background, so I think you'll pick it up everything really quick as long as you have that problem solving and logical mindset once you move to the next company or something,
Yeah, I hope so. I am planning to leave soon. I'm thinking about moving back to Norway.
Really?
I'm not really sure. I need to do something different, and I'm not sure where I'd want to move. I don't love Austin. If I'm not sure where I want to move, I might as well be closer to family, right?
Sure.
I think I'll do that. But yeah, that's the question. What kind of position should I be applying for? And I mean, I'll apply for a little here and there, and we'll see where I end up.
Yeah, but I think the thing is, since you have dual citizenship between Norway and America, you don't need to limit yourself working for any single country for a while, right? You can just move around anytime you want.
Yeah, I can go back and forth between the U.S., Norway, and I mean, since I'm a Norwegian citizen, I could pretty much work anywhere in Europe, hassle-free too. Have a lot of different options, but I mean, starting over, especially in the pandemic when everyone's at home, you don't really build a social net that easily then. I'm going to do the boring thing this time and move home.
I totally get you, Maya.
Maybe I'll get bored and move back again. Because, I mean, I love U.S. culture. I love it here. So it is a little
Absolutely.
sad to be moving back to the But we'll see. I mean, I can always change my mind.
Because when I was also in Austin, I felt the same way. That's one of the biggest reasons I moved back to Korea. I mean, I definitely admire and look up to American cultures, working spirit, their social relationships, and their soft skills and intangible assets and so on. But I indeed miss my family at the same time. Since everyone was segregated because of this COVID-19, so I couldn't socialize well and got homesick, and I also got a lot of stress from the visa issues as well. And then at the time, it's so funny, Maya. At the time, I thought I got underpaid because I was foreign citizens, whatnot, I was not a U.S. citizen. I don't know how much you get paid right now, but at the time, we all started with $60K range, right? Which I think is a pretty decent salary even at the time. Also, given the fact that the Texas does not have any income tax.
Right.
But after I moved back to Korea, I realized, ooh, that was really good salary.
It kind of sneaks up on you like that. Yeah, I think probably if I move back to Norway, I'll take a pay cut. At least if you consider after taxes. Taxes are very high in Norway. So, I can relate.
So, like, is it the fact that is the average the salary raise in Qantas is about like 10K? So meaning that like last year maybe you got paid 70K and now you get 80K around that range, or not necessarily like the gap is that big?
No, the gap is not that big. So yeah, I mean, for transparency's sake, I started out as an HU, so the middle degree, and I started out at 60K, and I was promoted to senior this year, and they gave me 10% extra. So, it wasn't that much. And I know of other people who are on the second rank who make 70. So I'm still paid less than people who are ranked below me. I mean, I know of one person who makes 80K as a senior, but he got that because he moved from, I forget if it was Mountain View or New York. He was the first person who decided that he was going to move. So to reward that, they let him keep his salary of what it was at in Mountain View or New York. I forget who it was or where he came from. But they definitely don't pay you a lot. But TLs apparently can make closer to 100K.
But I heard that. So my like basic calculation was like if you were to get paid like from 60K to 70K, maybe your like monthly paycheck will be changed from like let's say 4,000 to like 5,000. But actually, the more you get paid, I heard that the more tax you also are gonna be in charge of. So your day-to-day paycheck, like month-to-month paycheck, was not that dramatically increased.
I mean, I think I increased like a couple $100.
That's good.
So not a lot. The base, everyone got a small raise this year. I think it was 4%. That was what pretty much everyone got, as far as I'm aware. But also housing has increased a lot in the past year in Austin.
That's what I heard.
So yeah, everyone's paying like maybe like I used to pay I pay $1,000 for this apartment,
right?
And it will be $1,300 this year now. So that's a huge bump. So that
Indeed.
Pretty much just with the increase in housing, I mean that eradicates your pay raise.
That's what I heard. Like I heard that the Silicon Valley, Mountain View is on decline right now. Rather, like area near Austin is booming a lot. It's called like Silicon Hills or something. Is that really the case? A lot of the Silicon Valley IT companies are now moving to Austin, and so that causes a lot of the housing price to skyrocket.
I think that's accurate. I mean, Apple, they're building a huge campus just like right next to our old office. It's going to house I think it was 20,000 employees or something ridiculous like that. And they're going to build out our old office as well. Our old office is like a collaborative place, so it doesn't just have Google, it has like eBay and other places. But that one is also going to expand by 5,000, 10,000 people or something like that. They're going to rebuild it and make it a lot bigger. And I mean, Tesla, they're building a huge campus in Austin as well, or I think it was a factory maybe. You definitely see a lot of the Silicon Valley companies in Austin now.
Wow. So, I mean, that's the part of the reason why I asked you was because I wanted to keep living in Austin. The housing price is one thing, but when I was there, it was like really scorching and hot over probably from March to October, and I barely breathe. I couldn't do any outdoor activities at the time. But I heard you guys got snow last year, so I don't know. Maybe do you like the climate there? Do you see yourself keep living there?
So you mean, oh right, we got snow, so that makes it all better. No, the snow thing was terrible. It was, we had blackouts. We had no power for days, and then no water. It was a disaster. It was like an actual disaster here.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Norwegian, so I was fine. But for a lot of people, they were experiencing snow for the first time, and it was like I think the coldest we saw was -14 degrees Celsius.
Whoa, that's pretty chilly, cold.
Right, and I mean, like houses here, they aren't built for cold. They have no insulation in the walls, and the windows, they're thin too. So yeah, I think it's very different, -14 here than it is somewhere in like Korea or Norway, where they build the houses a little thicker because they're used to the winter.
So maybe you guys, the radiator didn't work, so you guys basically like spent a couple of days as a homeless.
Yes.
I'm sorry to hear that. I can't believe that it's still, 2020 or 21st century in America, considered the most powerful and strongest country, are now force their citizens to experience their homeless life. I think maybe that's their big picture.
Yeah, I also feel like the more I live in Texas, the more I think that this is not a first world country.
This is not a first world country. Yep. I second that.
Because there are things like that, and I mean, like, I think I was out of water like just a month before that, just for a couple hours. But they said that it could take like a day to fix or something like that. And yeah, like in the 3-4 years that I've lived here, like the small things have just like gathered up. One time, we had to boil water for a whole week.
Wow.
The water source got contaminated, so we had to boil water. Yeah, and it's like these are things that like I shouldn't have to deal with.
Yeah, one of the biggest reasons why you have to move back to Norway.
Yeah, I just want to be safe. Like no tornadoes, no like natural disasters, no like crazy snowstorms that they can't handle.
And a lot of the gunshots or whatever, the gun violence, right? When we all hung out together at that night, I don't remember when exactly. It was like sometime during like summer of 2020, right before, maybe at the end of 2019. I don't know, but we had a really huge giant get together. I don't know if it was near Domain or I think it was near downtown. And then right after I got home, like, I got emergency alert texted, like there was like 2 gun violence, so 2 people got dead or something,
Oh.
At the time, a lot of us were at club,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the murder rate is up this year. I think there have been more killings this year than before.
So aren't you like,
I mean,
don't you feel insecure as a female by yourself living in Austin or in America?
No, not really. I mean, it's all relative. So, like, Austin has been one of the cities in the U.S. that has the least crime. So even if the crime rate increases here, it's still lower or equal to other cities in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's sad. It's disappointing for sure. But, I mean, you have to consider it relatively.
That's true. Do Haewons or Arim, those Korean people, still work for Contest, or did they change their jobs?
Haewon's over at Samsung now.
He went to Samsung?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, we have a new Korean person, Rosa. She used to work in Mountain View, but then she moved to Lisbon, and now she's moving to Austin, or she thinks she's moving to Austin. Yeah.
Interesting. So, how's life, Maya? Like, do you have any like boyfriend, or are you seeing someone?
No, it's very hard to meet people, and I mean, I'm about to move, so I'm not really trying to meet anyone either.
Yeah. Maybe I think if I had kept staying in Austin, I would have been stuck in my whatever department lane for 2 years. I can't. 6 months was enough for me, I got super depressed, and basically like I couldn't meet. I had to like stand a long line at the beginning, to buy a toilet paper when we had all this crazy kind of the toilet paper rush went on,
Yeah, that was crazy. Standing in line for groceries. Yeah, that was wild too. Yeah, I mean, I've taken 2 breaks. I went home for 3 months. 2 months last year, and then I went home 3 months this summer.
That's great. Since you guys are able to work remotely, did your manager allow you to do that?
Yes.
Dang, I don't like Chris. This is a kind of off the record, okay? But I asked his permission first to work in Korea remotely, but he said no. But I'm like, but there are a lot of workers who went to Europe or Mexico because they said like if their time difference is within 6 hours, that's gonna be fine. But he said since Korea it's about 13 hours, so. But I do have a lot of friends here in Korea who work remotely and they work in American time zone, which kind of mess up their lifestyle. They probably need to like start working from 9 p.m. to 5 in the morning and then they kind of sleep all during the day. And you know what I'm saying? Like they work like a nocturnal owl, you know?
One person on my team is actually in India right now, so he's working completely the opposite schedule too. And our Google stakeholder, she's in Thailand, so she's also working very different hours. But she's actually sticking to Thailand time, so she'll log on at like 3 p.m. our time, and I think that's still like really early in the morning for her. So yeah, that's the way she solved it. But yeah, I guess it depends on the project if you need to be available for meetings or not. My manager was at least has been very nice about that. That if you want to change your hours to live somewhere else, then that's fine as long as you're.
You're looking you're blessed with a lot of good people around you.
I mean, I knew it was a bad boss, so I deserve a good boss.
That's definitely a trade-off. Maya, but I really missed our first crew, you know, you, Simo, Murat, whoever the first days comers, like El Haj.
Right.
Are they all in quality test?
Yeah, so let's see. Simo, he's a team lead now. El Haj, he's about to have a baby. Actually, he just announced it today in the shout-out meeting.
Wait, who's about to have a baby?
El Haj.
Oh, he got married?
No.
What? He knocked her up like a random girl?
Pretty much, yeah. So, like, if you want to hear the gossip, apparently, so what I hear, so this is, I didn't hear it from El Haj, but apparently he broke up with his girlfriend because they had different religions. And then he got a new girl pregnant who is also from different religions.
wait. So he got two women pregnant at the same time?
No. So he had a girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
And he decided he couldn't date her anymore because she was from a different religion. So I think he's Muslim. So he wanted to find a Muslim woman. But he didn't take his own advice, so he found a new girl who was also from a different religion, and she is the one who's pregnant.
El Haj, look at you, you know. Just because you're a big giant black dude does not mean that you can knock any woman up. That's really bad, I think. And I was really shocked about the Indian guy in the AQO team. What's his name? Mohammed? There are a lot of dirty office affairs, and as you can tell, it was Boss and Jessica, and then Mohammed and what was the Asian girl's name?
Oh, you're thinking about Arbaz?
Oh yeah, Arbaz and
Joyce.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that ended well.
He all the time claim and they oh, you know what, yesterday I broke Joyce's bed, so we have to order a new bed from IKEA. I'm like, what the heck, you know?
Yeah.
It was like a elementary school's discussion or gossip, but yeah. I felt I was, as a third point of view, I thought I was watching sort of the American TV show, you know, sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty dramatic. Yeah, Joyce is a team lead now, so let's hope she's less dramatic now than she used to be.
They all. I just went, to their get together one time. I just couldn't go there anymore. They all start doing weed and cocaine, a lot of alcohols, and I'm like, this is not the social community that I want to belong to.
Right.
They're professional work, but just because they're good worker does not mean they're good in private life. And I don't want to judge them, but they were just different from my end,
Yeah, I agree. I know that they've been socializing a lot during the pandemic, and I personally don't agree with that. But good for them for having fun.
So, what do you do for fun these days, Maya? Do you still work out and run, or
Yep. Yeah, still wake up every morning, or not every morning, but many mornings. Go for a run. And yeah, I mean, hang out here, watch some TV, go, online shopping. Yeah, I'm not doing too much at the moment, actually. Yeah, it is a little boring, but yeah, I'm hoping like when I get back to Norway, I'll be able to do a little more stuff.
Yeah, didn't you have masters, Maya, in America or?
No, I don't have a master's.
So yeah, I think and you're still young, right? You're like 26, 27?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you'll find a lot of jobs. As long as like you come on, you work at Google, right? You could like demonstrate. Trust me, like I proposed this resume in Korea, and like my first round interview was like, oh, free pass. Like, wow, did you work at Google? I mean, I didn't work for Google, but I could legitimately say I work at Google, and I did a lot of meetings with Googlers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They really highly appreciate that. And now that I get out of the company, I sort of try. I'm the kind of person who try to look back on a lot of the positive things and lessons that I learned from the community.
Yeah.
My favorite was shout out and a lot of daily scrums. But other than that, like, is there any particular special googly culture that you can kind of think of or bring back to your next job? Can you think of any?
I mean, that's a good question. I agree. I guess if you pull like the idea of like something googly, I really appreciate the no meeting weeks. So once in a while, Google have a week where they don't have any meetings. That's a good idea. I wish that Qualitas also observed that, but unfortunately we don't. But yeah, I think that's a good way to reset. Stop with the camera fatigue a little bit. I don't know how it was on your team, but on provider onboarding, we never put our cameras on. But if you look at Googlers, they always put their cameras on in meetings. So yeah, and when I'm in meetings with Google stakeholders, I always make sure to turn on my camera to just make a good impression, to kind of just like fit in with their culture.
That's their kind of digital standard, then.
Yeah. Yeah, but I've also read studies that say that if you have your camera on, you can get something called like Zoom fatigue. So you get more fatigued sitting in meetings with your camera on.
Makes sense.
Than if you don't have your camera on.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So yeah, give and take. I mean, it looks professional, I guess, but it does strain you a little more, I think.
I get it, Maya. It seems that right now Thanksgiving is around the corner, so I see a lot of decoration behind your scenes. And do you have any plan for spending your cool Thanksgiving holiday? Are you gonna go back to Norway?
No, it'll be too short. Yeah, I was considering celebrating with some coworkers, but they're actually going to Joyce's in that gang instead. So I'm gonna do a quiet Thanksgiving by myself. But I think it'll be okay. Yeah, I don't mind cooking. I can make the parts of the Thanksgiving feast that I enjoy, and I can skip the parts that I don't enjoy.
Sure, Maya. Maybe you could get yourself connected with your ex employees, or not ex boyfriends, but like your ex, I don't know, alumni. Maybe the university you graduated from. So there could be a lot of ways that you could still get connected, like we do right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's not too bad. I'm not too sad about it. Yeah. I mean, it's like basically what I have left now is so next week is Thanksgiving week. I'll have 2 days off. I actually have a lot to do. I need to sell my car. I need to sell my monitors. Do that kind of stuff. And I'm gonna work 2 more weeks. And then I'm actually planning on taking a vacation. I'm not sure if I'm going to resign beforehand or if I'll resign afterwards, but I'll be gone in Arizona for 3 weeks to celebrate Christmas.
Amazing.
So that'll be my fun time. That will be my social time.
I really admire American working hours and all the kind of cultures. In Korea, we don't have that much of a holidays and vacation, but I mean, it's good and bad, right? But regarding finance, did you invest your money on stocks or something? How did you manage your finance? I bet you definitely get a lot of lucrative income by selling all them Craigslist or Let Go, OfferUp. What was the other app like? Something like that, used stores.
I mean, Facebook Marketplace is good, I think.
Right.
Yeah, I haven't sold anything yet, so yeah, no. But yeah, I haven't been investing that much because I'm actually saving up for down payment. In Norway, you don't really rent that much. It's people start out pretty early buying houses or apartments. You can buy apartments instead of like having to buy like a whole house. Yeah. In Austin, I feel like they only sell like really big houses. So of course nobody can afford them because like the starting house is like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
Right.
But yeah, in Norway you can buy small apartments, and that's more normal than actually renting something. So
and that's pretty reasonable cost.
Yeah. I mean it's expensive, but people can do it.
Take a mortgage and bank loan.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm thinking of also like moving to Norway in future.
Oh.
I mean, part of my plan. So that's why I wanted to like get connected with you. I mean, I wish that this is not going to be our last call, but I want to ask your opinion, and because since you're like Norway native, so I wanted to hear your experience, and that's one of the dreams, right? A lot of people around the world want to immigrate to like the Norwegian 3 countries like Norway, Sweden, and Finland.
Yeah. Well, I mean, wow, I don't know how popular those countries are, but sure, yeah.
And if you have any questions like regarding visiting Korea, Korean skate game, or K-food or K-dramas, I'm more than happy to answer your all questions and all.
Hey, I work in provider onboarding. I have a lot of TV and movie questions about. I'm not given a lot of Korean providers, but yeah, it's good to know that I know who to ask.
Absolutely, yeah.
Rosa's out of office or something like that. But yeah, I mean, definitely let me know if you need to know anything about Norway or need to figure something else out. If you are planning to move there, yeah. I can help.
Yeah, next time I'll probably prepare better bullet points, like sort of the meeting conference notes, and so I could ask you in a kind of well organized way or neat way.
Oh no, it's fine. You're so like business oriented. Like, can I schedule a sync?
Sorry, because recently, like my side hustle is like tutor people about their careers in English. I get paid pretty decent by $60 per hour, $7 per hour.
Oh wow!
And I really really love meeting new people, gaining new insights, and I don't want to like get stuck in my own little comfy bubbly shell and comfort zone. Rather, I want to break away.
Yeah. No, you definitely have like a very out there personality. You like being friendly and meeting new people and exploring, doing new things.
You get the idea, Maya. Do you happen to be on Instagram or Facebook? Now you're on Facebook. I get it, but
I mean, I have an Instagram. I don't post on it, so it's empty. But
the reason why I'm asking you is Messenger probably the good way to get connected, or would you say after you move to Norway, you're gonna like delete all the USA SNS accounts or something?
Oh no, I'm gonna keep my Facebook and everything. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so today it's so easy to use Facebook. I mean, I Facebook Messenger my parents. I'm sure I'll be Facebook messaging my U.S. friends from Norway as well. So, yeah, I mean, there are so many different tools, but I mean, unfortunately, Facebook is just ubiquitous. Like, we're never going to get rid of it. Everyone has Facebook, so.
Totally. But Maya, it has been almost like a year since I moved back to Korea. What do you think of like my English pronunciations and like language proficiency? Like, do you think when you first met me and when I first met, would you feel any like subtle differences and stuff like that?
I mean, as you say, it's been a year since I've talked to you, at least probably even more. But yeah, I think your English is still good.
It's not like dramatically different.
I mean, it is definitely important to practice. Yeah. Sometimes my parents will make fun of my Norwegian, saying that I'm getting bad at Norwegian.
Once you go back to Norway, do you have any chance to like speak English or no?
I mean, probably not so much. I mean, I'll speak to my American friends. I have gotten in the habit of calling people a little more often. Even in the middle of the workday, I'll just call a coworker and just like sit and talk while we work. Stay in contact with people like that.
So the primary means of communication in Norway, even though they're Norwegians, is still Norwegian, not English, right? Even though they could articulate fluent English.
I mean, I think Norwegians are one of the people who are best at English, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so.
So, everyone, like pretty much everyone speaks English pretty well. But yeah, Norwegian is definitely the primary language.
Yeah. So I need to get going for my my students class. I have about like 5 minutes, but I think I bombarded you too many questions, so I beg your pardon. And then but do you have any questions to me? Maybe I could answer 1 or 2 questions before we hang up. I kind of feel bad that I only like ask a lot of questions to you and not answering your questions to me.
Oh no, it's fine. I didn't prepare any questions. I wasn't sure what the meaning of this meeting was for or anything. I didn't have anything to prepare. I was just like, Taewon, he's fun. He's going to talk about something that he wants to talk about. Let's see what he's up to. But yeah, I'm really glad to hear that you're doing well and that you're exploring different things and having a good time living at home, feeling settled and all that.
Yeah, previously, like 3 months ago, like I got a job scam. So what happened? This is kind of funny story. So I'm working from Busan, second largest city near the Japan area, right? And then most of the IT jobs are near Seoul, which is the capital. And I got job scam, so I already like rented a house. I signed a contract with this house for 2 years near Seoul, and I'm like, shit, like this company is not the company that the job description was describing, And I quit the job after 3 months and find a really better job. But the thing is, it's a really fastest growing startup company where I need to write a lot of codes to make autonomous driving simulation software, which I think is very promising and very auspicious,
Yeah.
The thing is, but we don't use English, so I have to force myself to use English. So recently, like, I get connected with my American colleagues, friends like you, or I start teaching English to Korean students, like aging from middle school to like late 40s, who wants to learn business English, and English is getting more important here in Asian countries, I don't know how big BTS is in your country or USA, but I hope the Korean syndrome could go like larger and larger so that I could at least like find a better job in overseas as well, using as a bilingual of Korean and English,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if the K-pop is gonna ever take over any other industries, but sure, yeah, we definitely have heard about BTS in Norway. And Blackpink as well is another one I've seen top the charts in Norway.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But Maya, so I gotta get going, and sorry for hanging up at this point, but I think we should probably call again with the better, resourceful, and constructive topics. I'm really glad that even though you're struggling a little bit, but don't worry, like all these experiences gonna build up and make you prosper. Once you move back to your country, you'll be on another level,
Yeah, I think so too. Even if I take a couple months off, I mean, I have the ability to do it. I have savings. I'm going to move back with my parents for a while. I'm not worried at all. I'm really looking forward to whatever will come next.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not scared enough yet.
I think you're just a great person. I think Barrett Sims did a great job recruiting all of us. I'm sad that he left or he got fired. I don't know what's happening. We'll talk about that later,
Yeah, I do have some gossip about that, but we'll save that for next time.
All right, Maya, you have a great night and we'll talk again, all right?
Yeah, thank you. Have a good one.
Take care. Bye-bye.